All right, I want to do a quick video. This is take one, by the way, future Jacob. I want to do a quick video on how a lot of people, and I think I fall under this category myself, but how a lot of technicians fall for the never happy customer. And this is one of those customers that you really have to watch out for if you're, I think, the same kind of technician that I am. So there, in my opinion, really two types of technicians. There's the technicians that work for the paycheck and know how to fix problems in order to get paid. And then there are technicians that like to fix problems. They like to see the customer happy in the end. And that's what I feel like I fall under. I don't fix the problems to get paid, really. I mean, I definitely fix problems to get paid. But the payment's only half of the victory to me. I really enjoy the expressions on the customer face and how happy they are when I am able to recover their data or able to fix a computer that other people weren't able to fix. It's a self-fulfilling kind of thing. And I think this is a trap that I fell for a long time. And it's something that I think you could easily avoid if you know what you're looking for. And I'm slowly starting to get better at this myself. So a lot of the customers come in and they can tell which kind of technician you are, whether it's cognitively or, just in the background. Some people will see the advantage that they can take. And of course you take it. If you can get ahead in life, most people will try to get ahead. And so when they can tell that you're not going to stop helping them until they are 100% satisfied, they will never be 100% satisfied. And a great example is, let's say a customer comes in with a laptop and they ask, do you sell antivirus? Because my computer's popping up saying it has viruses, and I'd really like to have antivirus that you trust. And so I sell antivirus here, and I tell them the price amount per year. They agree to it. I'm like, all right, cool. I can actually do this over the counter for you right now. It only takes about 5 minutes to install it, get it activated for the year, and then you are set and good to go. And so we do that, and they'll take it home. And then whether it's 30 minutes or 2 days, I eventually either get a phone call or they come back. So this antivirus doesn't work. There's still pop-ups saying that the computer has viruses. So so this is where the customer splits between either being an uneducated in the area, so they may not be tech savvy, which is most of my customers aren't on the tech savvy side, or they are going to start trying to take advantage. And then there's always that gray center spot. And so I educate, it's like, well, the antivirus is going to protect you from actual real viruses that are from this database. I sell what I would consider really good antivirus for $40 a year. I use it personally and professionally. I like it. And so I would have them turn on the computer. At this point, I would walk through with the customer to see, what is actually the problem here. Because chances are it's not an antivirus problem anymore. There's something bigger going on, whether this is them getting scammed, them not understanding how computers work, or simply a hardware limitation of their current computer, and they may need to look into getting an upgrade simply because their computer might be built in 2012 or of the such. But at this point is where the idea would come that I've already paid you to fix the virus problem that I wanted you to fix, and it's not fixed. And so a customer might assume that whatever you're about to do should be covered because they paid for you to fix a problem and you didn't actually fix it. What you did was you fixed what they thought they wanted as a solution. And this is where the customer becomes never happy. And this is something you really want to avoid by making sure that you explain fully what exactly the customer is paying for and where that service stops. Because if you don't explain where that service stops, then that service will continue long after that sale, and then you're doing service after the sale for free. And that's the thing that you don't want to do if you enjoy paying your bills and eating dinner. So once the customer comes in, they pay the $40, and then they come back saying that their problem's not fixed. You walk through. So you figure out exactly what it is. And a lot of times it is just a scam or I call it scareware. So it's scary software that tricks the customer into paying more. A lot of that is just, sketchy software that just like, oh, you have errors. And it's just to screw people over just to get their money. And so a lot of people think, oh, I need antivirus to fix this. You don't need antivirus to fix this. You need to uninstall the garbage that's on your computer to fix this. What you have is illegitimate software causing your problems. They could have saved that $40 on antivirus if they knew what they needed. They didn't know what they needed. They knew the solution that they knew the final step. They knew exactly what their endpoint was, but they had no idea what that, that other part of the race was to get from where they are to that endpoint they wanted. And so if you can figure out that, you're going to avoid the never happy customer. And these customers are the ones that will come in. It's like, oh, well, I paid you the $40, so I expect you to do this arbitrary $100 service to fix all the bloatware and pop-ups and clean up the computer and update Windows and uninstall, Adobe Flash that has been dead for 6 months now. And they expect all these extra things. And when you do it, then they're going to go home. They're going to use the computer for 30 minutes. They're going to use the computer for 2 days. They're going to use it for a week. Man, some of them will even use it for 2 months. And then they give you a phone call. So my computer's doing the exact same thing it was doing when I brought it to you yesterday or 2 days ago or 2 months ago. And when I say 2 months ago, I mean, I've had people come in 8 months. They're like, hey, I brought it to you last summer. It's March. What do you mean you brought it in June and now in March it's causing a problem again? That's not because of something that I had done technically it could have been, but that's not something that I would have done way back then. I had fixed the problem. You probably reinstalled that problem. You probably, refell for your driver's needed update and downloaded the sketchiest driver updating tool on the internet. But they don't understand that. They don't understand that there's software out there that's made specifically to scare people and to scam them, and that they fell for it. And that's one of the things you need to watch out for, is that while some people don't understand, some people kind of do understand. They know they got scammed. They know they fell for this. And they'll come back and say, hey, you said you're going to fix the problem and the problem's back. Why didn't you block this software? Why didn't you completely remove the virus? As if you were supposed to remove the virus off of the internet or wipe it completely off the face of the earth. And they know that they're scamming you because they got scammed, and they're trying to pass that scam along because it makes them feel better to know that, that they weren't the one at the end of the chain that got they can pass that scam along. It makes them feel less bad as a person, I guess. And so one of the things that you really have to stress when you do a service is that this is exactly what it covers. And I have it on my receipt. I tell people when they drop it off, there is a sign on my front counter that gives the exact warranties for all the services I offer and everything that I cover. And along with that, I tell people exactly, hey, if this computer causes any problems in the next arbitrary number of days, bring it back. I will cover it under this amount of time. After this time, at that point, and I explain to them, it's kind of like how a car warranty might work or something, if you were to buy something from a big box store, you have a certain limited amount of time. Just like if you go to a restaurant, you have a certain limited amount of time to complain about your meal, to complain about the product, to say that something is not right. And if you don't complain within that limited amount of time, it wasn't a problem that I was responsible for. The manufacturer is no longer responsible for that problem. The restaurant cook is no longer responsible for the raw chicken. They should definitely be responsible for the raw chicken, but if you wait 2 weeks after your meal and then say, hey, this chicken was raw, you know how many meals you eat within 2 weeks? The chances of that being the problem is becoming slimmer and slimmer, and the warranty is getting smaller and smaller and harder to cover. And so you need to watch out for these people that come back 2 months or 6 months or 9 months later saying that you were the problem. Because some of them don't understand, and that's okay. But most of them do. Most of them understand how this works. But they can see that they can take advantage of you, and they will. So always make sure you explain exactly what you're going to do as a technician. A lot of customers won't care. A lot of them just want the end result. But you need to explain still exactly what it covers. I've had people halfway out the door. They'll drop it off, and they're halfway out the door before I explain, hey, this doesn't actually fix this problem. I'm going to do this, and it's going to fix one of your problems, but it's not going to fix your other problem. If you want both problems fixed, there's 2 different charges because it's 2 different jobs. I can do them both, but understand that this one price that I quoted over the phone only solves this one problem. because you brought it in and I saw a second problem, I need to charge you for that second problem. This is why I charge this much. And then this is how much the warranty covers for this problem. And this is how much warranty covers for this problem. And that could be because the customer came in with a broken screen on their laptop. I was like, oh, no, not a problem. I charge roughly this much for the part. This is usually how much it costs me. And I charge this much for labor. I cover anything wrong with the screen for this amount of days after you pick it up. And most customers are okay with that. Let's say the customer comes in and not only is their screen cracked, but the hinge is actually broken. So now I need to replace not only the screen, but also either like the laptop hinge or laptop backplate, depending on what the exact problem is. But let's say the hinge is actually broken. Well, now I need to order the screen and order the hinge and replace both of those. Now, those would fall under the same labor for that exact job because it's all the same space. But I would need to inform them that this hinge costs this much extra. Otherwise, they might assume that... All right. I think I left off on people don't know what is included with the screen. They may think that the screen doesn't just mean the LCD and the digitizer or whatnot. It may also include the backplate and the bezel and the hinges and the Wi-Fi antennas and the LVDS cable and the webcam with the webcam cable. They don't understand, when I say, oh, I'm going to buy you a new screen, they may think that whole top LCD assembly and not just the picture glass itself. And that's not really the customer's responsibility to know exactly what you mean when you say, oh yeah, I can buy this part. That's why you're in business. That's why you're a technician. That's why you have this job. It's because you understand what that customer needs. And it's your job to explain to them that that's what they need. And this prevents that bad customer that is never happy. You can prevent the never happy customer by simply explaining everything. They may not always want to have the full explanation, which sometimes it's okay to give that elevator pitch, but that's the balancing act, Every car would be safer if it had a 5-point seat belt and, 3,000 airbags or something. But you have to make compromises. You need to make it more convenient for people. And that's one of those things here is that you can explain everything to such a detail that they could do it themselves, but then you're not going to have any customers. So you need to figure out exactly how much of the explanation you could take away until you can cover yourself to never get that never happy customer, and they know exactly what they're paying for. So you don't have these problems 6 months or 9 months into the future where this customer's like, hey, you said you were going to fix this virus problem. You said I had a year of protection, a year of antivirus. I should not have a virus for a year. And here I am 9 months in and I'm already having viruses again. To them, that's ridiculous. To us as technicians, you're like, well, of course, like it's antivirus, not perfect protection. It's silly. But if you explain it to the customers in a way that they can understand and get those analogies better. I'm not the best at analogies. Clearly, I brought up cars with 3,000 airbags. That's not how cars work. But that's what you need to work on, is making sure that the customer understands. Because if the customer will understand and you can get that customer to agree with you, if you can get that customer to say yes, that customer is way less likely to be the customer that's never happy. And you never want the customer that's never happy. And hopefully I can edit these two little clips together to kind of make sense. Thanks, phone. But, gotta stay in business. So hopefully you learned something from this very fast rambling. And I don't know, share it with a friend because that would really help me. And I'll see y'all next video.